Hello, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Am I audible? Okay, great. Thanks for confirming. So let us start the session, everyone. So if you guys remember, this is our very first demo for the data engineering with the Google Cloud platform. So in this demo session, we are going to talk about what is the course curriculum, what is actually the data engineering, what is Google Cloud platform. So all the details about the course we are going to talk about today. So if you ask me, sir, what is the agenda for today's session? I'm going to tell you, we are going to first see what is data engineering, right? So if we wanted to become a data engineer, we must know at least what is actually the data engineering, and we will also see what is the role of a data engineer. And after that, I will talk about the Google Cloud Platform overview. So what is this Google Cloud Platform, and how is the difference between the Google Cloud Platform with other cloud platforms we are going to see. And after that, I will talk about the detailed course curriculum. So what is the detailed course curriculum, right? What are the topics that we are going to cover for the next 3 months? I'm going to tell you guys. And then we will see the course details, such as what are the course timings and how the recordings are provided, and the notes and everything, right? So what are all we are going to cover, I'm going to tell you one by one. Okay, so first let us start with the data engineering. Before we start with the data engineering, you may be having a plenty of the questions, right? Like how to get a job from this course, and what about your current experience, and I don't know the cloud at all, and will I be able to get the job or not? Does it make sense to my profile or not? So you may be having a different questions like this one, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, by the end of the session, if you have any questions like this, I'm going to answer it each and every one very clearly. Okay, so if you have any questions like this one, don't worry. By the end of this session, we are going to see all of these things answered. And even though if you have more questions also, I'm going to give you the time so that you will be able to answer it. Okay, you will be able to have a proper answers to each and every question. All right. Yes. So before that, let me gonna actually explain about myself, guys. My name is Shaik Saidhul. I'm currently working as a full-time senior data engineer. Actually, currently I'm a solution architect at Quantech. I'm also a consultant at Databricks. Currently, I'm working at two positions. Coming to my education, I have completed my master's degree from NIT Trichy. I do have more than 8 years of experience into the data and AI field. And coming to my certifications, I've done many certifications in the GCP, Azure, Databricks, Python, Terraform, AWS also. So this is all about me, guys. So just remember me as a Sheikh Saidul. So I am currently coming to my training experience, right? So for this GCP data engineering, I have been teaching the GCP data engineering from last 2.5 years, and more than 1600 and plus students that we have trained, and more than 800 plus we have placed in different companies, I would say. All right. Yes. Now let us start with what is actually the data engineering. Tell me, guys, what do you think that the data engineering is meaning? What is mean by data engineering? Anyone? Can anyone guess it? What is data engineering? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yep. Sir, if you ask me what is data engineering, so the very simple thing I would say that you will be having a plenty of the data on a daily basis, right? So, for example, you look at your day itself, right? So you wake up in the morning, you order for a breakfast, or you wanted to travel from one location to another location, or you wanted to purchase some kind of a product. So what do? We try to interact with an application, right? Whether it is Ola or Uber or Zomato or Swiggy or Amazon or Flipkart. So these are the different applications. Whenever you are interacting with an application, that's where the data is coming from, right? You have a data that is getting generated from the applications. You will be having a data that is coming from file formats also, right? Sometimes the data may coming in the form of a CSV file or a JSON file or a Parquet file or a CSV file or a text files. So you will be having a data that is coming from multiple file formats. So someone is storing the data in the form of a files, or some company may be storing the data in the form of a databases. There are multiple databases are there. like MySQL database or a SQL Server database or a PostgreSQL database. Or sometimes you may be having a data that is coming from some IoT devices like sensor devices, right? So these are all the things that you are going to get the data from. So these are all the things that we are getting the data from. So that's the reason we usually call it as a data sources. So most of the time we will be calling them as the data sources because this is where the data is coming from. Tell me guys, what do we do with this data? What we can do with this data? Can we delete it or can we use it for some other purpose? If you ask me, so what the business manager says is that if you try to understand this data, if you try to understand this data, this will give you some kind of a information. This will give you some kind of a information to improve your business, to improve your business. So it will help you to improve your business. So that's what. So what is business manager is saying that, so whenever you have a data that is coming from multiple data sources, if you try to understand the data, if you try to analyze the data, that data will give you some kind of information or insight. Those things are very, very useful for you to improve your business. So that is what is very important thing, right? So whenever you have a data, you try to analyze it, you get some kind of a insight, and that will be eventually helping your business improvement. Right, sir? Every business, every company, they wanted to grow. If they wanted to grow, they must understand the data. They must analyze the data. They must analyze the data so that they get some kind of a insights to how to improve the business. They will get some insights on how to improve the business. So this is one of the important aspect. Okay. So, sir, if I wanted to analyze the data or understand the data, can anyone tell me what is the very first step that we have to do? Sir, I wanted to analyze the data. Can we directly analyze the data? No, sir. We cannot directly analyze the data. So the very first thing is that we need to collect the data and store it. We need to do what, sir? We need to collect the data and store the data into a single location first. So we have to extract the data from these multiple data sources and store the data into one single layer called a data lake. Okay, what is a data lake, sir? A data lake is a location where do you store the data, right? So a data lake is a location where you can store the data in the raw format, right, sir? So you extract the data from these raw data sources, you are going to store the data into the data lake in the form of a raw format. Now tell me, now I have the data with me. Can we go for the analysis? Anyone? Right. Sir, we cannot directly go for the analysis because this is a raw data. This raw data may contain a plenty of the problems, right? It may contain a duplicates. It may contain a null values. It may contain a bad records. It may contain a unnecessary information. Sir, when we have a data, this is a raw data which was directly coming from my data sources. I cannot directly go for the analysis because this is having a plenty of the issues like duplicates, null values, bad records, and unnecessary information. Tell me, guys, what do we do? We should go for the data processing. Right, sir. We should go for data processing where we process the data. What do we do, sir? We process the data. What is mean by processing, sir? We remove the duplicates. We remove the duplicates. We remove the null values. We remove the bad records. We remove the unnecessary information. So in the data processing, we are going to add some kind of a value to the data by removing the duplicates, by handling the null values, by removing the bad records, by eliminating the unnecessary information. Right. So we are going to do the data processing, which is one of the very, very, very important aspect for every data engineering is that data processing is must be done. Otherwise, you are not going to clean the data. Right. So in the data processing, eventually we are cleaning the data properly because this data have some kind of issues, so we are going to clean the data here. So here we are doing the data cleaning activity. So once the data is cleaned properly, so that's where we can go for the analysis. So this is where we can go and analyze the data. We can go for analyzing the data. So this is where, sir, now I have extracted the data from the sources, storing it here, processing it here, analyzing the data in the with help of the simple language called SQL. So we are going to analyze the data in the SQL data warehouses to properly according to the project requirements. According to the client requirement, we are going to create analysis reports or analysis tables, we call it as. So we are creating analysis tables here by using a simple language, and we are storing the data into the data warehouses. In the data warehouses, we are storing the data in the form of a tables, where these tables are analysis tables, aggregated data, business ready data in the form of a tables that we have. Right, sir? So we extract the data from this cleaning layer. Once we have the data in the cleaned format, we are going to do the analysis according to the project requirements. Sir, can you give me one of the example? One of the example could be finding the top sales as per the product. Sir, I have a plenty of the products I'm selling in my e-commerce. Sir, I wanted to find out what is the product which is sold most in the last month. Or sir, I wanted to understand the sales from the sales trend from last year to this year. Right, sir? If you wanted to get some kind, such a kind of a analyze, or you wanted to create such a kind of a reports or tables, what do we have to do is that we have to analyze the data. Right, sir? I wanted to understand the customer behavior. I wanted to understand the top sold product. I wanted to understand the sales trend from last year to this year. Right, so if you guys wanted to go for such a kind of a things, you are going to create analysis reports and store the data in the form of a tables now. And these tables are very useful for the downstream such as BI or ML or data scientists or business groups. So you have analyzed the data and stored the data in the form of table. So here we are going to send this data to the downstream. This is called as upper stream. This is upper stream. This is downstream. Okay. So you are going to create some kind of a reports and dashboards in the BI. And you are going to create a ML model out of this data. You are going to use this data to find out the future trends with help of the data science. And there will be a business group who will be using this data for taking the decisions. So there can be a multiple downstream people are there who are going to use this data for creating the dashboards or reports, or creating a ML model, or data science will try to find out the future trends, or business groups to use this data for the decision making purpose. So this is what is data engineering, everyone. So you get the data from the multiple data sources, you store it, you process it, you analyze it, you send it to the downstream. And one more important step is also there. So that is called as data governance, making sure that your data is accurate and complete. Right. So you are moving the data from the different platforms here. So that's the reason data governance will ensure that the data is accurate and complete throughout this process. We should not lose the data. Right, so that is what the data governance will take care of it, and we should not lose the data, and the data should be accurate and complete and properly controlled with the help of the access. Okay, yes. So this is what we call it as a data engineering. Right, so if you guys wanted to see the definition, you can see here. Take a minute and try to read this definition once, please. Look at here, sir. Data engineering is a process of. So what is data engineering? If you ask me, sir, it is a process of collecting the data. It's a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data so that it can be easily used for the analysis purpose. So this is what it is. So it is a process of collecting, organizing, preparing large amounts of the data so that it can be easily used and analyzed. And while you're doing that, it may involve designing the systems or building the systems and infrastructure that allow the data to be captured, stored, processed, and accessed efficiently. So this is what it is, right? So while you're doing it, you may have to build some kind of an infrastructure to capture the data, store the data, process the data also, right? So this is what is we call it as a data engineering, guys. On a high level, I wanted to tell you. So that's the reason I'm telling you. Right, sir, it is a process of collecting, organizing, preparing large amounts of the data so that it can be easily used and analyzed. During this process, we may build the infrastructure or systems to allow this process automatically and efficiently. So that is what. Any question, guys? Anyone on the data engineer? Okay. All right. So I hope you guys are having a good knowledge on. So what is a role of a data engineer, sir? If you ask me, so just now we have seen whatever the roles also, right? So whatever the process they do, in the same fashion, a role of a data engineer is that a data engineer may work on the data ingestion process. A data engineer may work on the data storage and management. He may work on the data processing, data quality and governance, data pipeline creations, performance optimization, monitoring and maintenance. Sir, if you ask me what is a data engineer do on a daily basis, so he will be working on these different activities. Sometimes he may work on the data ingestion, sometimes he may work on the data storage and management, he may work on the data processing, he may work on the data quality and governance and data pipeline creations, and he will also work on the performance optimization, monitoring and maintenance. So this is what is everyday data engineer may work on any of these activities, guys. All right. Yes, I hope you guys got some idea about the data engineering. So now if you do not have any questions, I will go to the what is Google Cloud Platform. Anyone have any questions before me move to the Google Cloud Platform? Okay, so now let us try to see, sir, what is Google Cloud Platform. Sir, if you ask me what is Google Cloud Platform, it is very simple, guys. So can you guys tell me what are the other cloud platforms that you guys know? Sir, I know about the AWS. Sir, I know about the GCP. Maybe I'll go to the paint. Sir, so you might already know about the GCP. AWS is there and Azure is also there. So these are the different cloud platforms. Alibaba, Oracle. Okay, so these are the different cloud platforms or cloud providers available in the market, isn't it? Right, sir. These are the different cloud providers. So this we call it as a cloud providers. So these are all cloud providers. Sir, what the cloud providers provides us? Can anyone tell me? Sir, GCP is a one of the cloud provider. AWS, Azure, Alibaba, Oracle. So these are the different cloud providers available in the market. Can you guys tell me what are these cloud providers provides us? So the cloud providers provides us the cloud computing services, everyone. So the cloud providers, what they provide, sir, if you ask me, is that the cloud providers provides the cloud computing services to the organizations. So you have a different cloud computing services, sir, cloud providers available in the market. Sir, if you ask me, some of the cloud providers available in the market are GCP, AWS, Azure, Alibaba, Oracle. So these are the multiple cloud providers available in the market, everyone. So they provide you the cloud computing services for the organizations. Sir, what organizations can do with these services? Can anyone guess it? Any guesses? Sir, if you ask me, the organizations will use this to fulfill their project requirements. Fulfill their project requirements. Sir, what are those project requirements? Can you give me one of the example? I'll tell you. Sir, what organizations will do, sir, if you ask me, sir, the organizations will try to use these things to fulfill their project requirements. So what are those? For example, you are working in one of the data project. So data engineering project you are working on. So in the data engineering project, you may be wanted to store the data. You may wanted to process the data. You may wanted to analyze the data. Analyze the data. You may wanted to visualize the data. Right? You may wanted to governance, monitoring, maintenance, many other things that you wanted to do it. Some of the activities that I have told you. Sir, in every project, in a data engineering project, sometimes you may wanted to store the data. For storing the data, tell me guys what we have to do. So if you go with the traditional methodology for storing the data, you have to set up an entire infrastructure first. Setting up the entire infrastructure, purchasing the machines, purchasing the hardware will take a lot of time. So instead, so that's where we come to the cloud platforms. Right, sir? So you have a multiple cloud providers are there. So they provide you the cloud computing services. They provide you the cloud computing services to the organizations to fulfill their project requirements. For example, if you are working in a data project, if you wanted to store the data, you can make use of these cloud computing services offered by the any of the cloud platform. For processing the data, also you can use it. For analyzing the data, for visualizing the data. So this is how, if you guys wanted to do any kind of a activity in the data project, like storing the data, processing the data, analyzing the data, we can make use of these cloud computing services which are readily available. It is like this one, guys. Think about like a cooking of food at home, right? So if you guys wanted to have a food, if you wanted to have a food, just simple example I will try to give you. Sir, you wanted to eat food. You are hungry, you wanted to eat food. If you wanted to eat food, you have two options. First option is that you can cook on your own. You can go and buy a food at restaurant. So these are the options, right? So when you go for this one, it will take time. It will take time and effort and money. So time, effort, and money. So all the three things that you have to put. But here, if you go for restaurant, you just have to put money only, and such as the thing, time and effort will be saved. So that's the reason. So this is like a traditional method. When you're working in a traditional methodology in the companies, right? So you have to put a lot of effort, lot of money, lot of time for creating the entire infrastructure. But when you go to the cloud, so restaurants are like cloud. So when you go to the cloud, you don't have to put any infrastructure or anything. So all the readily infrastructure is available. So that's called as a cloud computing services. So the cloud computing services will offer you the these things, guys. So cloud providers will offer you the cloud computing services, and these services are very useful for the companies to store the data, or maybe to process the data, or maybe to analyze the data here. So this is the advantage, guys. So now you don't have to put extra effort, extra time, extra money for creating the infrastructure, because this infrastructure is readily available. This infrastructure is readily available in the cloud providers. We can just go to the cloud provider. We can choose a proper cloud computing services. We can store the data, or we can process the data, or analyze the data. Right? So this is what. Sir, one of such a cloud platform is what, sir? If you ask me, sir, one of such a cloud platform is a Google Cloud Platform, everyone. One of such a cloud platform is we are learning is Google Cloud Platform, sir. What is Google Cloud Platform, sir? If you ask me, it is very simple. So Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services for the organizations to help them fulfill their project requirements. What are those requirements? Maybe for storing the data, processing the data, analyzing the data. So this is what is the definition. What is GCP, sir? If you ask me, sir, Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider which provides the cloud computing services or products or solutions to the organizations to fulfill their project requirements. So that's what the same thing I have mentioned here. Okay, you can see here. That's what the same thing I have mentioned here. Take a look at it here. So Google Cloud Platform is a leading cloud provider that offers a range of products and solutions to help the organizations build the application, deploy the application, scale the application service in the cloud. Maybe building, deploying, scaling is nothing but your data engineering application, right? So that's what. So this is what is a Google Cloud Platform, guys. Okay, so these services are highly reliable, secure, and a scalable infrastructure it is offering. so that you can able to you can make use of these services to fulfill your project requirement in the company. And these services are highly reliable, secure, and scalable also. So that's what it is. And sir, what are these services it is offering you? If you ask me, sir, Google Cloud Platform is offering you a plenty of services like this. It offers you the compute services, identity and security services, management tools, networking services, big data services, storage and database services, machine learning services. Sir, Google Cloud Platform offering you a plenty of these kind of a services, guys. So we are going to mainly focus on big data and storage and database services because we wanted to become a GCP data engineer, that you wanted to become a data engineer in the Google Cloud Platform. So we are going to mainly focus on the big data and storage and database services, right? So this is what is the Google Cloud Service portfolio, and the focus we are going to focus on is the big data as well as storage and database services. Okay. Yes. Sir, while in the GCP, if you ask me, Google Cloud Platform has a very good community support, guys. Google has a very good community support, and Google Cloud Platform is offering the services are cost effective compared to the other cloud platforms. If you compare these services to the other cloud platform, the services are cost effective, and these are flexible, scalable also. We can flexible means we can customize it easily. Scalable means we can scale up and down as per the requirement. And these are trustworthy, nothing but reliable, and secure at the transit. When you are storing the data, you don't have to worry about the security. By default, the Google encryption will also be there. And these are offering you fully managed and serverless services also. The interface is very simple and fast. So because of these reasons, most of the companies have started using the Google Cloud Platform. So that's the reason there are plenty of opportunities are there. There are plenty of the opportunities are there if you wanted to grab the opportunity, right? So that's the reason this course is mainly aiming for those people who wanted to get professionally skilled at GCP data engineering. So this is the main aim of the course, is to give you not only the theoretical knowledge but also the practical knowledge. We are going to have a plenty of the lab sessions. All right. So because of this region, most of the companies started using the GCP. So that's where plenty of the opportunities are there in the GCP, guys. So that's one. And you can also see how the companies are looking at it, is because if you look at the graph also, the growth rate for the GCP, it is 54%, which is more than the AWS and Azure also. The growth rate is nothing but it is not the market, it is the growth rate compared to the last quarter to this quarter. The usage of the Google Cloud Platform is increased more than the AWS and Azure. That means the company's growth rate is increased for GCP, and it is establishing its market also in the outside world. So that's why. So this is all about the Google Cloud Platform, guys. Anyone have any questions before we go to the detailed course curriculum? If anyone have any questions, you can ask me, please. I'm going to talk about the detailed course curriculum, guys. Now, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will tell you the detailed course curriculum here. What we are going to cover, everything I'm going to tell one by one here. Okay. Sir, if you do not have any questions, I'm going to tell you guys detailed course curriculum. Maybe I have an image also. So we have a dedicated notes, guys. So these notes I will share it with you, where we are going to, maybe I can show you here itself, or maybe I will open how the link looks for you guys. That's where you can see it. Go to any of the browser. So this is how the notebook for our Google Cloud Platform looks like, guys. Anyone can use it. Once you enroll for the course, you will get an access to these notes. Okay. So first, what we are going to cover, I will tell you first. Okay, what we are going to cover. I'm going to just paste it here. It's easy for you to understand. Okay, as a course curriculum, guys, first we are going to start with the cloud basics. So look at here, we are going to start with the cloud basics, guys. So in this cloud basics, we are going to talk about cloud overview. What is Google Cloud Platform, and what is the difference between the traditional as well as the cloud platforms we are going to see. Then we are going to see the GCP introduction. After that, we are going to talk about the GCP interfaces, GCP locations, GCP IAM and admin. So these are the 5 topics that we are going to see in the cloud basics. It's going to take 7 to 8 hours. The cloud basics may take 6 to 7, 8 hours, guys. So where we are going to talk about the 5 modules such as cloud overview, GCP introduction, GCP interfaces, GCP locations, IAM and admin. All right. Yes. For your practice purpose also, I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP. I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP. Yes. After this one is completed, we will be going to the next topic, guys, that is called as programming. We will learn about here the Linux basics. The very first thing we are going to learn about the Linux basics, Python for data engineers, PySpark, and Apache. So if you guys wanted to become a very good data engineer, you should know about all of these programming basics also. So that's where we are going to talk about the Linux basics and Python, specially designed for data engineers, and PySpark and Apache. Right. So once this programming is also completed, we will go to the data engineering services. So this is where we are going to talk about the data engineering services. So in this data engineering services, we will be talking about GCS. The very first service is GCS, nothing but a Google Cloud Storage for storing the data. Cloud SQL is second service we are talking about. That's a database. It offers you the multiple database service. It's a database as a service. And the third one is a BigQuery, which is a data warehouse solution, which we are going to learn in depth. BigQuery, that's third service. And the fourth service, so you can look at here, guys. The very first service that we are covering is Google Cloud Storage. Why I'm not able to select it? Yeah, Google Cloud Storage, which is for storing the object oriented data. Cloud SQL to store the data in the form of a tabular format. It is more of a RDBMS solution, database as a service. Sir, BigQuery is a modern data warehouse solution or a data analytics platform. So we are going to learn about the BigQuery also. Sir, Dataproc for running the Hadoop and Spark jobs. Dataflow for running the Apache Beam jobs. So where we are learning the Apache Spark and Apache Beam, you are already learning the Spark and Beam here. And the Python also. So you are going to use the Python there only. And then Data Fusion to create the pipelines in the UI, user interface. Airflow or a composer, which is a workflow orchestration tool. And PubSub is for streaming data ingestion. Cloud Functions, event-based solution. Databricks is a lakehouse platform. We are also learning about the Databricks. Terraform for infrastructure creation. Bigtable we are not covering. So I should remove it. We are not covering. Earlier we were covering, but it is nowadays no one is actually using it. So I've removed it. So this is what it is. So we are learning about all of these things, guys. So Google Cloud Storage, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Data Fusion, Airflow, PubSub, Cloud Functions, Terraform, and Databricks. Right. So these are all the things that we are going to cover, guys, as a part of this one. Okay. Then once these things are covered, we are going to talk about the next projects and case studies. So these projects are not covered separately, but here it will be coming under each and every service of that. But look at here, maybe to make you understand. So this is one. So we are covering the projects, guys. Here you can see. Yes. All right. So you can see here, guys. So we are covering the projects. So in this projects, if you look at it, we are going to talk about two BigQuery case studies. In the BigQuery, we are talking about two BigQuery case studies. And in the Dataproc, two case studies, one end-to-end batch pipeline. And in the Dataflow, two case studies, one end-to-end streaming pipeline. Airflow for end-to-end DAGs. And in the Databricks, two case studies on the streaming and autoloader, one end-to-end project. So pipelines are nothing but project only, guys. Pipelines are nothing but end-to-end pipelines is nothing but end-to-end project is nothing but. So that's what. So these are all the course curriculum that we are going to cover, guys, as a part of this course, including the basics, programming, data engineering services, projects, case studies, and end-to-end pipelines are also covered. Sir, what is the course details are on a high level if you ask me? So this is what is the course details, guys. So course name is GCP Data Engineering. The duration is 3 months. It will take up to 3 months, guys. 2.5 to 3 months it will take. Timings is 9:30 to 10:30. It is 9 p.m. It is not 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., guys. It is 9:30 to 10:30. I wanted to tell you, sir, it is 9:30 to 10:30. 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. The same time, the current time only, 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So this is what. Okay, so Monday to Friday will be there, guys. Saturday, Sunday, no session will be there. Saturday, Sunday is for the assignments. So the timings will be 9:30 to 10:30. No sessions on Monday, and sessions are from Monday to Friday. Live sessions will be there. No sessions on Saturday and Sunday. And you will be getting the recordings on a daily basis. Okay, so recordings will be shared on a daily basis. Even though if you miss the sessions, you will be able to have the recording. Resume templates are also provided. If you guys wanted to create your resume, you can go for with these resume templates. And if you wanted to go for the interview questions, you can go for the interview questions, certification dumps, and material. Maybe I'll show you the material, how it looks like. Because if you look at the material, you will get a very good confidence. So this is our material, how it looks like, guys. You will be having everything here. So go to the go to the cloud basics. What we are going to cover in the cloud basics, if you ask me, sir, one is GCP interfaces. GCP introduction, GCP interfaces. So in the GCP interfaces, here we are going to console. Look at what is console. Maybe I'll go here, okay, in my local notes. So it's very faster. It is little bit slow there. So in here, Google console. So we are going to talk about, these are the course content that we are going to cover, guys. If I go to the cloud basics, we will talk about the GCP introduction, then GCP interfaces. Maybe can I be able to, okay, can I be able to put somewhere? Is it possible for me? 1 minute, guys. Yeah, I can put it here. Okay, that's fine. So you can see here, guys, interfaces, console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK, and the GCP console walkthrough. Here I'm going to tell you how to create a free trial account, how to set up the project, how to enable the billing, how to enable the APIs, console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. Locations, what is region, what is zone, what is the selection criteria and importance. Each and everything is covered here. Then IAM and admin, guys, you can see. So in this one, we are going to talk about the Google Cloud IAM, so which is one of the important aspect to control the access in the Google Cloud platform. Here we are going to talk about the identities, principles, roles, permissions, policies, resource hierarchy, and the best practices also. What is service account, why we need it. So all of these things, basic roles, predefined roles, custom roles, everything are covered here, guys, as a part of the IAM. And then we will also talk about how to create a free tier account in the GCP. We will also talk about the Linux basics. I told you guys Linux basics are covered, right? So this is where the Linux basics, all the commands we are going to learn, most commonly used. Then we go to the GCP data engineering services, where we will talk about them. What is Google Cloud Storage, right? How to create a bucket. And we will also learn about how to create a bucket using the Cloud Shell commands also. There is an assignment also here. Visa also is there. Cloud SQL. What is Cloud SQL? Cloud SQL, and here also I'll talk about what is data, what is database, what is DBMS, what are the two types of DBMS available. So with an example also we are going to see it here. Connecting it to the Cloud SQL database migration project. So here we are going to cover the database migration project also. And then creating the MySQL on top of the virtual machine for our understanding. You have a sample data, you have an assignment also. BigQuery also. What is BigQuery? The BigQuery is architecture, working with the BigQuery, and where we are going to see the hierarchy, different ways of creating the tables in the BigQuery, the examples also here. And the data set for practice purpose, table types, what is native table, what is external table, partitioning and clustering, working with arrays, nested and repeated fields, assignment one. I told you two case studies, guys, right? So one case study is on the Spotify case study, one more case study on the social media case study. And then BigQuery views and optimizations. Python. So I told you, right? So we are covering the Python. So in the Python, we are covering the 4 chapters. Chapter 1, data types. Chapter 2, data structures. Chapter 3, Python programming constructions, if else statements, for loops and while loops, exceptional handling, file input output operations. Chapter 4 is for the functions and classes. Okay, so all the Python for data engineers are covered. Then we go to the data proc. What is Hadoop? What is Spark? Why we need them? And what is the data proc and why it is important? How to create a cluster? What is Spark and what is PySpark and Spark architecture? The lab sessions on the Jupyter environment, sample data set for your practice purpose. I told you 3 case studies. Case study 1. So these are pipe projects only, guys. When I say case study, these are projects only, project overview. And this is one more project, which is very important project, where we are going to see the data validations, data transformations, logging and monitoring, error handling also. All of these things that we are incorporating here, right? Yes. And the case study 3, which is for the ML use case. So again, case study 3. Then we go to the BigQuery also. You have assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3 also. And then we go to the data flow. So what is data flow? How it is different from the data proc? What is Apache Beam? How to create a pipeline? Creating a workbench, lab sessions, sample data set for practice. Case study 1, assignment 1, template method of creating the pipeline, case study 2. I told you end-to-end streaming pipeline, you have it here. So end-to-end streaming pipeline is here. Case study 1, case study 2. Case study 2 is nothing but template method, right? So this is a end-to-end streaming pipeline. And again, what is PubSub? The PubSub architecture, the use cases. What is Airflow? What is Airflow or Composer? What is workflow orchestration tool? Airflow architecture. What is DAG? Creating the JAG and cron job format. I told you 4 levels, right? So 4 end-to-end DAGs. Level 1 DAG is for the BigQuery jobs. Level 2 DAG is for the data proc jobs. Level 3 DAG is for the Airflow DAGs. Level 4 is for the parent and child things. And you have assignment. There is one of the thing is implementing a CI/CD with the help of the Airflow. Also for your knowledge, we have created it. So this is also you can go for it, right? So all of the things are covered here. And then data fusion, right? So you have a data fusion. What is data fusion? And creating an end-to-end pipeline with the data fusion. What is cloud functions? Use case on the cloud function and assignment also. And Databricks, which is very much important, guys. We are going to cover about what Databricks introduction, what is Lakehouse platform, and what is Databricks architecture, how to create a free trial on the Google Cloud platform for Databricks, setting up the workspaces, what is Unity Catalog Metastores, Delta Live Tables, Databricks Dictionary, lab sessions, clusters, notebooks. Yeah, cluster, what are clusters and cluster types, how to create a cluster, notebooks and features, DB utility commands, Unity catalog, what happens without Unity catalog, what happens with the Unity catalog, and what are the features of the Unity catalog. Delta tables, Delta Lake tables, right? What is Delta Lake? What are the features of it? And that what are the different types of Delta tables? What happens when you create a Delta table? Data frames and operations, structured streaming, autoloader framework, and workflows, end-to-end Databricks project. End-to-end Databricks project is also there. So this is how you have, we are covering, we are ending our course here. Okay. So all of these topics with including all the things are covered, guys, here. Okay. So this is what is the details about the course. The course timings also I have told you, that is 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. on a regular basis from Monday to Friday. Recordings will be shared. Resume templates. I think I did not show you this thing. We have an interview tab here. So we have a community. You can join the community for any job alerts. I'll show you where to join later. And resume templates are here. Interview introductions. What is interview introduction and project 1 explanation and project 2 explanation also. Data engineering theoretical questions, SQL coding questions, Python coding questions, Python PySpark questions, manager round of questions, certification dumps also. Everything is provided. This is a full package of the course, guys. I've been teaching this from the last 2.5 years. We have changed a lot of people's lives also. More than 800 people got placed in the different companies, I would say. And yes, this is going to be a full package of course. Everything is covered. Yeah. Now tell me, guys, if anyone have any questions. So next 10-15 minutes is for questions only. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me about the course or anything. Anyone have any questions, please raise your hand. Yes, the questions will be, sorry, the topics will be covered from basic to advanced. Everyone can able to understand. And the main aim of the course is to make you a GCP data engineer, guys. Whether you are coming from non-IT, whether you are coming from IT support background, or the testings background, if you guys wanted to move into the data engineering field, this course is gonna give you basic to advanced skills. You can put in your resume also that I have worked on GCP data engineer for 2 years or 3 years also, you can put, and you can go for an interview, because this course going to be the more practical than theoretical. Okay, yes. Any other questions? No, we are not providing any placements. We are providing you the course, the resume templates, interview questions, so that you can put your resume, you will get good calls, right? You can crack it on your own. That's how my students will do. Yes, 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 yes. Data engineer, yeah, data engineer will have a plenty of the jobs every time. Okay, so that too in the GCP data engineering, there are opportunities and less competition compared to the Azure and AWS. Opportunities are there in AWS and Azure also. Good amount of opportunities are there, but the competition is very high. Getting the job with the Azure and GCP is Azure and AWS is very hard. But getting the job as a GCP data engineer is very simple comparatively, because the manpower is lesser and the demand is more. So that's the reason the getting the opportunity is easy. But for Azure and AWS, there is a huge, huge competition is there. Okay. It it depends on your current packages. Always you can expect 30%, 40%, 50%. People are able to get 100%, 200% also. Okay, it depends on your current package and the budget of your company, I would say. Okay, usually it happens minimum 30 to 40%, right? Minimum 30, 40% to people go until 200% also. Okay. Yes. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? There's a good demand for GCP data engineers, guys, outside. Not only the senior data engineer, lead positions also there, architect positions also there. So for those people who are having 3 years, 4 years, go for senior data engineer positions. For those people who are having 7, 8 years, go for the lead data engineer positions. For those people who are having 11, 12 years of experience, go for the architect positions. Very, very, very good demand for the all of these roles: senior data engineer, lead, and architect positions. Very good demand, very decent packages that they are giving. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. See, the end of the day, the thing is that you need to have a good technical knowledge, right? So even though you have a management skills also, if you not worked on a developer, you cannot be able to manage your team at all, right? So the thing, this course will give you development plus architectural kind of skills, right? So for example, if there is a requirement, if you guys wanted to build an end-to-end pipeline using the GCP services, such a kind of architectural skills that you are going to get it, that is for your managerial kind of a positions or architectural lead positions. And we are starting from basic coding, right? So basics to the advanced, where you are going to create end-to-end pipelines. So that's very, very useful for the senior data engineers, right? It is for all the flavors. So by the end of the course, it will be giving you not only the technical but also architectural. Okay. Yes. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anyone? Yes, please. Of course. Yes, on a daily basis after the session, in next 1 or 2 hours, you will get the recording also. Yes, you can watch the recording. Yes, guys. Even though you miss the sessions, don't worry. But I suggest you to attend the live sessions. But even though you miss the sessions, that's totally fine. You can watch the recording also. Be prepared. I suggest you to put effort and practice it on a daily basis. It will be easy to get the jobs. Yeah, it was proven already by more than 800 people. Huh. Right. So there is one prerequisite I forgot that, guys. I forgot to tell you. That is, any guesses? Anything is missing out of the course? So this is what is a prerequisite basic knowledge on the SQL, guys. Basics. SQL basics if you have. Development we are going to cover. No worries. Right? You need to come up with a basic knowledge on the SQL. So basics if you know, guys, that's more than enough. We are going to do the development and everything. So prerequisite for the course is this one. So this is a prerequisite for the course, guys. SQL is the prerequisite, yes. Mm-hmm. That's a very good career shift that you can expect. Okay, right? So you will be in a very good technology first thing. You will be in a very demand role, right? Because when you go for reporting, the packages are lesser. When you go for reporting, the demand is lesser. But when you go for data engineering, right? So the packages are very good, and there is a good demand whenever you are actually changing your company. Okay, yes. So even machine learning engineer, data science also actually come to the data engineering field. I'm telling you guys. People think that sir, data science and machine learning and some other roles are highly paid, but look at the market, look at the trends. Data engineering is big data engineers are the highly paid jobs. Big data is the highly paid job, I would say. Yes. Any other questions, anyone? Nothing. I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP. All the practice we are going to do. However, you are going to work in the company, the same thing we are going to do here in the everything in the GCP only. Right? I'll tell you how to create a free tier account in the upcoming sessions. Yes. Everything. Yes. Everything. Yes. All right. Okay. So just wanted to tell you we have completed this first demo session, right? Tomorrow we are having the second demo session, guys. Please do attend. Tomorrow we are having the second demo session. Today we have just successfully completed our first demo session. Tomorrow demo 2 at the same time. So at the same time, that is 9:30 p.m. Okay, please do attend. And we will be covering one of the very first topic is GCP interfaces. Very important topic. Okay, I'm going to cover the GCP interfaces tomorrow. And if you still have any questions also, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay, yes. So tomorrow we are having the second demo, guys, at the same time, that is 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. And we are going to cover a very interesting topic, very important topic, very basic topic, I would say, GCP interfaces. Right? Do not miss it. If you have any questions also, you can ask me tomorrow also. Not a problem at all. All right? Yes. Okay, guys. Thank you all. So this is it for today. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys have learned something today. Thank you all. Thank you, guys. Thank you.